answering
Are you ready for
more questions for Roman.
No problem. No problem.
Roman, welcome to Fight Week, man. How are you feeling?
Good. Feeling good. Weight cut is going good. Is this water warm? Yes, I will drink this water.
Awesome, man.
So I drink a lot of water.
It's good, good, good. Obviously, Anthony Hernandez, the opponent for this week, main event. What are your thoughts on the booking with Anthony? What do you make of him as an opponent going into this one?
For a couple months, they were telling me that I'm fighting Whitaker, but when they announced that Whitaker is fighting the Reader, next day they send me Fluffy. I think we both deserve better opponents, higher ranked, but it is how it is. You know, I'm glad with the organization anyway, and if I'm glad, I'm just taking what they offer.
You mentioned there you believe both of you guys deserve better opponents. So do you think winner of this one come Saturday will get a Whitaker type opponent or someone like that at their next outing?
I think for now, Whitaker, I don't want to sound bad, but not so much interesting for future my career. That's why after this win, somebody from top 5.
What do you make of his fight style, Anthony? He seems to adapt pretty well to the different types of opponent he's faced in the past.
He faced very good opponents. He's a very good fighter. He's a very good person. Also, we met him yesterday in a hotel, and but I think he faced good opponents, but he never faced somebody with grappling like me. And we all know that he have a good cardio, and he loves to be on the ground and control people there. But I'm very active on the ground. I don't give rest to nobody.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask also, how have you been mentally and everything going into this? You're on a 3-fight win streak now. Before that, you were on a skid with Nasruddin and Marvin, but now you got the Marvin rematch under your belt. You got him out, So how does it feel now, and you got that out of your way, and now you're on a 3-fight win streak going into one of the biggest fights?
Fighting never affect on my life. Fighting never change who I am, and that's why win or lose, I don't think about it much. I'm just doing what I need to do. I'm still staying the same man, and I don't even understand how fighting can affect on me. That's why mentally I'm always ready, no matter what's going on in my career. And if we are talking about these fights, this fight is the back-to-back second main event, second 5-round fight. And of course, I worked a little bit more on specifics, where my opponent loved to be and stuff like that. But that's all, nothing more, nothing special.
And obviously, people are aware of what you bring to the table, your skill inside the cage, but there's always going to be people that are put asterisks by your wins, maybe that Kevin Holland one and stuff like that. Do you feel like you need to prove anything to anyone out watching, or is it just like, whatever?
I don't need to prove nothing to anybody. I'm just living my life, and if somebody don't like me, that's very good, because that means that my life is affecting on their life.
Awesome. You saw, obviously, Georgia continues to go on a run right now, man. So with a potential win for you this weekend, continues to put your country in even higher state in MMA. So what are your thoughts right now on the state of MMA in your country? And obviously, Merab just got booked against Corey Sandhagen. Just kind of talk to me about the landscape of Georgia is right now.
We are living a very big, beautiful, very strong era of MMA for Georgia. Fighters are making big moves. We are creating big history for our future generations, but also we are setting for them very high level where they need to get. Nobody will accept in Georgia if you are just UFC fighter. You need to be top fighter now, because they have so many top fighters. I'm like 3 years probably in a row. Top 3, we have 2 champions. Giga was so long top fighter, and there are many and many more better. I don't want to name everybody, because there are a lot of guys who deserve to be in UFC, but I think the future is very bright for Georgian MMA.
I mean, you mentioned it there, the Ilias of the world, Merab, you, Giga Chikadze. Have you noticed an increase in influx of youth coming in through Georgia from MMA? Just maybe more kids like, hey, I want to start MMA now, when they see guys like you and your people putting on the show?
I live in Georgia, and I definitely feel how people are involved in MMA. They watch everything. Sometimes they know more about my opponents than I know, because I don't watch much fights and stuff like that. But it's very big in Georgia, and of course we give them We give them show them the right way, what you need to do to achieve your goals, what you need to do to become a champion. That we also show them that it's possible to achieve your goals, what you want to do, if you are putting right effort, right time, and right place. And you know, especially when you look let's say Merab, what type of road he made to become a champion, how long, where he was before, how he get to America, where he was working before fighting, or how long he was fighting and winning just to get title shot. This all shows that everything is possible, just you need to have power of will and believe in yourself.
And the next title fight in your division will take place 1 week after your main event with Anthony. So, meaning it will still, whatever happens this weekend will still be fresh in people's minds next week when that title fight's happening. So, does that make it even more important for you to go out there and make the statement you want to make this weekend?
Every fight is important. As I already mentioned, I never change nothing because of something. It is just fight. I just need to be there, show who I am, and win the fight. Yes, it's important fight. We're talking about title fight, and I'm very excited to watch who will win.
How do you see that one going? Who do you have between Dricus and Hamzat?
For me, it's very much 50-50 because Hamzat is very high-level athlete, and we all know that he can finish anybody, take down anybody. But after second round, he always having problems, and this is a 5-round fight. And we also know Dricus is a very high-level athlete, very well-rounded, very good power of will, and very durable. And that's why I'm saying 50-50. If it will be stoppage, I think Hamzat will win the first, second, maybe beginning of third round. If it will be decision, I'm thinking that Dricus will win the fight.
Speaking of that, bouncing off of it, you take a look at, when this fight is scheduled. Yes, it's maybe not a Robert Whittaker or a top 5 opponent yet, but it sets you up perfectly. The main event right before the middleweight title. This is your third main event headlining. For you, what pride do you take in, getting that responsibility, but also getting to showcase what you're really about and show that I deserve to be at the top?
No, in the UFC and in life in general, nobody cares what you deserve. It's like it's a business. Don't forget, it's show. And I'm not a guy who talks a lot. I'm a guy who talks truth and the right things. Of course, right things for me. And that doesn't pressure me. They can give me or not. No matter if I'm winning, I will make them give me title shot. I will make them put me on the spot where I want to be. That's why I'm not thinking about things like that. I'm just doing what I want. I'm living like I want to live. And I think understanding of freedom and understanding why, because I never thought and I never wanted to be a high-level athlete. Let's start from this. I started very late MMA. But as I mentioned, I'm top 10 fighter for 3 years already. And I'm doing this because I like my freedom. Because of money, what I'm making here, I can live my life free, how I see it free, how I think it's free for me. And if I don't agree with organization or something, I always can say, I don't agree with you guys. And sometimes I say, but if I'm here, if I'm fighting, if I'm agreed to fight, what they're offering me, that means that I'm glad with my life and what I'm doing here.
I know job's not finished by any means, and there's still a lot of work to do. But how do you reflect on your MMA journey so far and be able to appreciate, this is where you're at right now?
I'm very thankful to my destiny. I'm very thankful everything what I have in my life. I'm very thankful to organization because without UFC, where I would be. I always say, no matter where I would be and what I will be doing in my life, I will be the best. I'm in fighting, I want to be the best in fighting. But I understand the way what I have with UFC, thanks to UFC, it's much easier. And I always say that using this UFC platform, I'm achieving and opening the doors what would be closed for me without fighting. That's why I'm very glad with everything what's happening in my life. I always say also, I'm not 100% angel, and we all have bad and good side. And everything, bad, good, black, white, It's all mine, and I'm glad everything is what's happening in my life.
You know, there's a lot of benefits that you've earned through the UFC. You know, one of which being able to travel and do things with your family. You took a trip back to Georgia just a couple of months ago. For you, how special was it to be able to be back in Georgia and just enjoy it with your family?
Of course, my life is there. My life is in my kids. My future in my kids. For me, my life not so important, and everything, even what I'm doing for them. Some people think that I can regret because I have 3 boys, and I can maybe regret that I'm not spending time with them. Youngest one is like a couple months old, and I'm missing this time. But I don't think like that. I know and truly am realizing why I'm doing all these things, and I'm doing for them, for their future, and that helps me to grow in them a real man. And that's why, I'm just take it like it's part of my job, and I'm just going back home and enjoying time with them, and life is good. Thank you.
On that note of selflessness and taking care and taking on those fatherly responsibilities, what do you feel like you've learned most about yourself as a father through them?
Because I never was selfish, but I think when you are father, you understand that you can't go back home and you can say, oh, today I don't have money to feed you. Impossible. You will do anything to feed your child. You will do anything to provide for them. And I'm just living my life not only for myself. I'm living, looking at them. First of all, I'm looking to my ancestors, how they raised me, to my grandfather, to my father. I'm in Georgia and living in Georgia to show my kids that how I respect my father, to show them how I respect elders, to show them the culture, to make them also see how life is for me, first of all, of course. And, everything is going good, as I already said.
All these things happening, legacy, family, potential title implications, a win on Saturday, what does that statement make from you?
Anthony is a very good fighter, 7-fight win streak. Win over him, of course, takes away this 7 win streak for him, and I will just prove to everybody that I'm there, and I hope I will get somebody next who will put me next on the title shot.
Roman, Gamarjoba,
Kamarjob.
good to see you. We mentioned a little bit with Hero about that Georgian presence. Are you having Merab in your corner this weekend? And if so, how's that work been?
Yes, Merab is in my corner. I'm always happy when my friends are with me, and with Merab will be also other Georgians with me, and I'm glad that they are surrounding me.
It's not the first time you've been here in Vegas. You're very familiar with the Apex. Did you do anything different here in town for this camp? PI, anything new, or just the same? As last?
Only new thing what I did, I just found new spot in mountains. That's all.
Have you found any spot to get some Georgian food? Is there anybody in Vegas that?
We have Vato. He's making sometimes some Georgian dishes, but this time he didn't do nothing. That's why, no. And there was one restaurant who they were cooking something Georgian, but they are closed now. That's why in Vegas, nothing to try. Probably, I don't. Maybe there is something, but if they texting comments, I will read about.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And one of our colleagues, Vlad, told me that the Georgian food is very fattening. So maybe it's a good thing you're not having too much Georgian cuisine.
That's the right thing, Yes, Georgian food is like very heavy. We have a lot of cheese bread and stuff like that, and a lot of different variations of it. And of course, that would be harder to cut weight after food like that. But I'm very strict with myself. That's why I would resist. Don't worry about it.
Right on, man. And last for me, you mentioned the boys. Hope they're doing good. I know your oldest might be watching, or he's not ready, or does the older of the boys watch your fights yet?
I don't like when they're watching my fights. Let's start from this. But of course, he sneaks and finds ways because he is old enough to do this. But if we are talking, probably the next question will be, I want them to be fighting or not. And definitely, I don't want them to be fighting. I want them to have good education, and when time they will come, they will decide what they want to do in their life. But I will not put them in fighting to be main life goal for them, because 8 years I lived in Ukraine for education, for university. My fighting career started there. When I was 22, I started grappling, and I was 28. It was my first directly pro MMA fight. And these 8 years, I was also teaching. I have my own MMA gym. And I saw a lot of guys who wanted to become fighter and don't think about other steps in their life. They left without nothing. Because fighting, a lot of different factors need to play out to become a world level fighter. Let's start first that you don't know what will be in the future. You don't know what injuries can be. And let's say you started fighting 22 and 26 you are injured, then you can do nothing. What else for your life? Like also another thing I also think is very important is luck. Sometimes very good fighters outside of UFC, and they will never be fighting here. And also a lot of guys who deserve to fight, they get some fights when they can. It's like one step till UFC, and they are not making, like they are losing or something happening. And the main thing, everybody thinks that you are in UFC or you are on top of the mountain. But I see a lot of, I train here, Apex, PI. I want to say big thanks to PI team. They are like my family here. I'm coming to Vegas because I have family in Extreme and I have family in PI. That's why I don't like Vegas as a city, but I like people here. And I see a lot of guys. I see guys who were heroes in their countries. They make to UFC. They are thinking they are next Conor McGregors. They are on top of the mountains. But after a couple fights, I see them going home. That's the truth of our work. And sometimes, if you are not ready for another life, you are losing your life. That's why everything what I said, that's the reason. My experience, what I see in life, and that's all. But that doesn't change that I'm very thankful to organization in UFC is giving big support, big help, and big life opportunities to people who are making it, but making it.
Sir. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that insight, that you're also a father providing for your children so they don't have to choose that life. And good luck on Saturday. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
What's up? How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. It's fight week, main event. How are we feeling?
Man, it's a fucking blessing to be here. I'm super stoked. The fight week is my fucking favorite week. You know what I mean? I get to get away, relax, and just focus on violence.
Well, it's interesting you say that. It's been only just several months since we've seen you at what's it called, UFC X and things like that. This was a fight that was supposed to happen almost a year ago now, and now you finally get it. Do you feel like this is one of those moments where it's like this was supposed to happen, and now it's my time to take advantage of this moment?
For sure. I mean, life happens, man. Fucking injuries happen, and that's why I had to pull out the last time. It is what it is. It's dope that I get to fucking fight him again. It's like dope. We already had a bunch of homework on him, so it's just replug and a replay. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What is the focus going into this fight for you?
The focus is it's the same thing it's always been. Is get out there and fucking cook these motherfuckers until they're ready to get finished.
With that confidence, there's so much that goes into the training, so much into the preparation. This isn't your first time around preparing for this guy, as you mentioned already. Is there anything new that you've seen? You're like, okay, maybe we, didn't see this, and now we get to add this to, our arsenal and really take it down even more.
I mean, there's stuff that my coaches have added that they saw that he did, but like, he's pretty similar to the way he's always fought. You know what I mean? He will fucking throw bombs. If that doesn't work, he'll start dropping on Hail Mary heel hooks and shit. I think we got him figured out, man. We got a bunch of big guys in this fight camp, a lot of strong guys, and like my team has done everything, done all the research, done all the homework. They make it very simple for my dumb ass just to go out there and fight. You know what I mean?
What pride do you take in, this is your second main event in the UFC. The last one you won. You're riding a 7-fight win streak. For them to be like, we need to put this guy as the main event and really showcase this is what the UFC stands for. What does that mean to you to be headlining again?
Man, it's a fucking blessing. This is like everything I've worked for since I was a kid. You know what I mean? You want to, when you get into the UFC, your goal is to be the fucking top dog. So finally starting to get some like respect and seeing those main event spots, it's like, all right, they're starting to see it. You know what I mean? They're starting to see it. Just keep my head down and keep doing what I've been doing, and the rest will work itself out. I won't be denied.
Since your UFC debut, where do you feel like you've seen the most growth, not only inside the octagon, but also as a man?
Man, I had to figure out a lot of things in life, and like I have great people around me that fucking hold themselves very well, and that helps. You know what I mean? They give me the right talks and shit when I need it. And my team is like my family. They're fucking right there with me. My kids fucking attack them all the time when they're in the garage and shit. So that's like, I don't know. I take a lot of pride in like this is like a family affair, and you know what I mean? Like a family event. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna fucking kick it. We're gonna play video games in the fucking room all night. We're going to fucking go be violent, and then we're going to go home with nice money and get right back to work so that the rest of the team is ready.
Next week, the middleweight title's on the line, Hamzat versus Duplessis. How do you see that fight going? What's your prediction?
I think Duplessis is going to surprise a lot of people because he's a tough, awkward motherfucker, and Kazmat's fought in a lot of small guys that have came up or last-minute fights. Like he's kind of like a weight bully. I'm still not sold on him. He's kind of a dickhead, so I probably just don't like him. Because my one encounter with him, he was like trying to mad dog and shit. It's like, nigga, I don't play that shit, bro. Like, run it, bro. But with that being said, that's not even on my fucking radar right now. I think Duplessis is gonna show the world. You know what I mean? Like, he's tough, keeps coming forward. Like, I'm curious to see what he can do with an actual guy that's well-rounded.
I'm interested. I'm not a big fan of asking these kind of questions, but I'm interested since you said it. Do you feel like this was a premature title shot for Hamzat?
I mean, it is what it is. The UFC goes for following, you know what I mean? Obviously, I don't do so much social media like I should do, which is fucking, I don't know, I get fucking asked, I've been asked the same question since I was a fucking 19-year-old kid, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck, bro, I can only answer it so many times. Like, I don't know. I probably should do more media, but if I gotta be violent as fuck and knock every motherfucker down, then so be it, bro. This shit's just therapeutic for me. I enjoy this shit. So if I gotta be violent with every fucking scene, make my way down one fight at a time, then so fucking be it. I'll be here and I'm ready for it, you know what I mean?
For those that maybe, haven't seen much of your game, how do you want people after this fight to look at, who you are as a fighter and realize, okay, this guy is legit. This is the dude right here.
I just got to go out there and show that I'm well-rounded everywhere, and I think that will solidify it for me. Like, oh, this motherfucker is champion material. You know what I mean? Like, once the people know, oh fuck, he can do everything. You know what I mean? Like, I've fought with injuries and I've fought in like hurt sometimes, and like shit, fucking, it works out, but it's not the greatest performance, and I know what I can do, so it pisses me off a lot. But man, there's no pressure. It's just go out there and do what I really know how to do. And like at the end of the day, this is the only thing I'm good at is being fucking violent and being controlled like killer. That's the only thing I'm good at in life.
Speaking of, being in the main event with that spotlight, how do you stay grounded and poised, but at the same time just stay in the moment and enjoy what you're doing? Like you said, this is something, that is just, this is what you love to do.
And like I said, this is my life, bro. This is all I know. So when I'm here, it's like I get to see all the people at the UFC and shit. And this is a blessing. It's like, okay, I fucking made it here, bro. And like getting here is the hardest fucking part. You know what I mean? You fucking do like hell of fights leading up to this fight, basically, and your body's usually thrashed. But I figured out a good system, and I'm fucking super blessed. I'm excited. Fucking good edibles, you know what I mean? You can't complain with that. Does help for sure. But man, it's a fucking blessing to be where I've worked my fucking ass off my entire life for this, and it's here, and it's like, bro, there's no pressure at all. You know what I mean? I know people don't expect a lot out of me, so it's fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna just send it and be violent as hell. The rest will work itself out.
So going outside the octagon, things that you do enjoy. You'd mentioned video games earlier. Have you always been a gamer, or is that something more recent that you've kind of gotten into?
It's like only during fight week, to be honest. It's like the Call of Duty mobile. Like this is the only time I have time to fucking do shit. I got 4 kids at home. 2 of them are in fucking AAU sports, so it's like every fucking weekend I gotta do shit, or my wife has to do shit. Should say, but man, like the sports are busy. Like I really don't get a lot of free time, and if I do, it's like after training, I'll grab a jet ski and dip off the lake. That's been my life lately, and that's been such a fucking blessing, man. It's been nice to just. I never thought that would have happened like for my life. You know what I mean? I'm from like a ghetto ass place in Dunnigan. I love that place to death, and I want to go back because I got a lot of love out there. But I never would have saw myself like being able to give that to my kids, and it's a fucking blessing that I can.
Well, kudos to that. And it's interesting because when you do come from that background, you know, you appreciate every little thing that comes your way and that you've worked hard for. But at the same time, too, you also want to have some sort of balance in being able to rest and be able to continue to do what you do. So is this something, you know, looking at, you know, the upcoming schedule, are you wanting to stay pretty active, or are you like after this fight, all right, let's go on vacation, let's enjoy time with the family? Obviously, school is right around the corner. And
My
things
kids
like that.
just started school. Literally, they fucking can't even make fight week because they start school Thursday. So for me, it's going to be like, well, I probably can take them somewhere cool. Maybe I'll take him to my boy's house in SF. He's got a house that he like Airbnbs with a pool inside, and just go kick it. Something small because they're in school. But yeah, no, for sure. When I get home, it's like I want the first month to chill. You know what I mean? Usually because I'm fucking bone bruises and shit. I got to heal things up, but I want to I like to focus on what's important in life, and that's my family, my wife, and like give back to them. They were patient with me during fight camp. You know what I mean? I'm a hothead. I need weed in my life to keep me chill. It's like my medicine, as they say. But man, it's just you know what I mean? Just keep riding the wave. You know what I mean? I'm right back in the gym because I have teammates that need me. So I'm gonna be training and just enjoying the family.
When you take a look at that young kid from where you once were, if he would have come into the future and see where you are now, what do you think he would say to you? Would he be in awe and be like, wow, this is what you do? Or would he be surprised, like, wow, this is really what you do?
Nah, I've always thought when I was a kid that I had what it take because, man, I'm like, fuck, when I was fighting, like, Max Griffin was my main training partner, and he was already pro, fucking people up, and, like, everyone was afraid of him. And so, like, I would just be like, all right, I got you, bro, and I get fucked up. Hell around. But, so, like, to me, I don't know, man. I just, like, I've done this shit, and I believed in myself the whole time. Like, I grew up fighting fucking grown men. When I was, like, 15, I was knocking out heavyweights at 36 years old, 30 years old. Like, age is nothing but a number, bro. That, like, you know what I mean? If you're hungry and you want to get out the fucking hood, you're going to find a way.
It's interesting having that hunger. Do you see that in your children? Like, is that something you have to instill in them to be like, hey, let's get going here? Or is that something that you see a lot of yourself in them?
Nah, I need to make their asses work more, bro. They're pussies. I tell them all the time. I tell my sons all the time, like, bro, you, like, I would have got my ass whipped for working how you guys work. Like, I tell them all the time. But at the same time, I'm very grateful that they don't have to work as much as I did as a kid. You know what I mean? There's, like, pros and cons to everything. So that's why I make them go to, like, these fucking training classes of, like, cardio and, like, shit like that, because no matter what, they're gonna have to learn how to fucking keep their mind right. And, like, when shit gets hard, you gotta learn how to fucking grab your nuts and go, or, like, you gotta learn how to keep your head on straight, I should say, because I have daughters too. Keep your head on straight and just, like, keep going, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Fluffy, you mentioned AAU sports. I got to ask really quick. What kind of sports parent are you? Are you giving the refs hell? Are you
Fucking-
chilled? Like, what are you like in the
I'm
sidelines?
chill, bro. I don't give a fuck. I try not to fight unless I get paid. It's my wife. I gotta tell her shut the fuck up. She fucking she's the fucking crazy one. But me, I can care less, man. It's like if people start like talking shit to my kids, okay, that's different. Then we got some issues. But so far, so good. You know what I mean?
Back to fighting really quick. Like you said, you've been on a 7-fight win streak, finished most of these guys. Do you feel like you're getting your flowers yet? Do you still feel like you're the dark horse? Do you care about how people view you?
I don't. I really don't give a fuck how people view me. You know what I mean? Like, it's dope as fuck. It's a blessing to see that people are like, oh, fuck, this guy's a motherfucker. He's a dark horse. Like, it's a blessing because they're starting to see what I've always believed. You know what I mean? To me, I'm like, I'm still pissed off. I'm not where I need to be. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking 31 years old, motherfucker. I was planning to come in here and fucking wipe out the division, but I had to get my head right, and I had to fucking redial in my fucking mind and just refigure myself out. And now it's just like, all right, well, I'm going to just keep knocking on the door until these motherfuckers answer.
Last couple. You talked about before the Brendan Allen rematch how that first fight was like one of the first ones where you really felt like you grappled in a way that you embraced that side of it because you had viewed yourself as a striker and whatnot. How do you view yourself as a fighter now? Because you've kind of created a mode of like you just melt these guys and push them. But when you think about yourself as a fighter and how you imagine yourself performing at your best, what does that look like?
The best version of me is like breaking you wherever. You know what I mean? Like I really don't care. This is martial arts. If I wanted to be a kickboxer and be the sickest kickboxer in the world, I'd be fucking kickboxing. You know what I mean? Or I'd be doing Muay Thai or some shit. I wanted to be the best martial artist in the world, so I think that me doing what I've been doing, it's gonna slowly prove to everyone that, look, motherfucker, no matter where this shit goes, I'm gonna stay in your face and I'm gonna give you hell, and you're gonna fucking be forced to work. Because a lot of these guys like to dance on the outside and take their time with it and finesse it, but that's not me. I'm a jump in the deep end kind of guy, and fucking let's run it.
What's your relationship to grappling these days?
I got a different love for it for sure. But I mean, fuck, I've got the most takedowns and shit. It's a fucking awesome. It's like it makes me laugh, and like I know my dad would be proud of it because he was a wrestler, but like at the same time, I gotta talk shit and say it's gay, and then that I learned how to do it just so I could talk shit about it. But now I love it. I love martial arts as a whole. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what really changed my mindset. Was like, dude, I love every single fucking part of it. Every like person I've met in the grappling, the Muay Thai, like most people are fucking very solid. Like my team is fucking, they're the best thing that's ever happened to me. You know what I mean? Like they help me keep my head on straight.
And then last one, get a dub over Dolidze. Do you have anything in your back pocket to call out, or any plans for after that?
I still don't even know who the fucking is in front of me, to be honest. I couldn't tell you like the list in front of me, but like I said, I don't really have a plan. I just go out there, be violent, and then tell Mick and Dana, hey, I've been fucking passing every single test. Like, what's up? Like, what do I gotta fucking do? Who do I gotta kill? Like, what does it fucking take? You know what I mean? I'm willing to fucking murder someone in there if I have to. If that's what's gonna take to fucking feed my family, then so fucking be it. I'll do it barehanded.
Thank you, Fluffy. Quick one for me.
Yeah, of course.
And by the way, you're doing the right thing. Like some people have crazy good social media. Someone runs it for them.
Yeah.
But then what you have to back it up? You got the right product. Like people are looking for violence and finishes, so they'll follow you. We'll make the noise.
Yeah.
So you're good.
Thank you.
Do you feel that being in that spotlight, being on the poster, doing all this media stuff, a father, husband, you kind of have to figure stuff out, like you said, a lot faster than normal people who can just kind of cruise and make mistakes. But you're kind of at a faster pace and maybe don't even get to enjoy it sometimes because you're working for the UFC.
No, for sure. It's fucking definitely a fast pace. Like, I'm fucking booked out for the next like month of shit I gotta do, and it's like kid sports and like all kinds of shit. But at the end of the day, man, this is the life I signed up for. You know what I mean? You have kids, and then responsibilities come like a motherfucker fast, and so it is what it is, and it's really just like grounded me as a person, I guess you'd say, and it just like makes you focus on like, I guess, how do you want to fucking present yourself to them, to how like so that they carry themselves the right way. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, I try not to be a jackass and say stupid shit too much, but it naturally comes out because I'm a jackass. But like I try to fucking really mind my P's and Q's, because like if I act like an idiot, then what does that mean for my kids or like the kids around my town? You know what I mean? Like they're just gonna act like a fucking bunch of idiots, and then with no like parenting or guidance, like it's hard to fucking tame that shit. You know what I mean? So like if you can just nip it in the butt now and be fucking disciplined, man, you can go really far.
Awesome, man. Well, you're doing a hell of a job of balancing both. Thank you for that, and good luck on Saturday, my man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Two things real quick that I forgot to ask. You know, being a Dana White Contender Series alum, you know, it's coming up this new season's upcoming is next week. For you, when you take a look at, you know, the talent that comes from there, but then also to the resiliency and the kinds of fighters that have to be able to endure, you know, it's a one fight kind of thing, and you know, you're either there and you get the contract or you don't. You know, do you look back at that time like, wow, like you reminisce about it, or how do you look back at Contender Series?
Honestly, like I said, bro, I really haven't even sat down to reminisce on really shit, to be honest. Like, it's been like everything I believed in is happening. So it's like fucking with kids and all that shit, I really don't get a lot of time to chill. Like, my chilling is dipping out in the cuts and going riding with no phone, and you know what I mean, just being with my buddies at the gym. That's fucking chill for me. So like, I don't know, I really haven't processed everything. Like I said, maybe when I have the title around my belt and I'm fucking like, I'm sitting down in the country, then I'll be like, oh, okay, this shit's paying off. But right now it's like just work.
One thing Zach mentioned about the grappling and everything, you know, UFC has UFC BJJ. They just had their second one. Their third and fourth one is going to be in October and December. As a UFC fighter, how do you look at, you know, a new branch of, you know, of the UFC brand extending, but also too one of the martial arts really coming to life and getting the platform it deserves.
I think it's dope. I mean, I think all these guys deserve to get paid. Like my buddy Ryan right here always says, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. You know what I mean? And it's fucking dope to see all these guys making money at what they love doing. That's how it should be. You know what I mean? They have fucking basketball and all this other shit that I don't watch. Why would they not have martial arts? Everyone likes violence. You know what I mean?
Would you ever consider going to the BJJ?
The BJJ? Well, fuck, if my coaches are down, I mean, how much money is it? I'm not going to lie. I know that when it's straight BJJ, I'm not the greatest. If I can slap you or hit you, all right, I'll take my chances. If there's a wall, I'll take my chances. But, I mean, I would fucking try it if the money's right.
Good luck Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.